Yo, what's up, guys? Dan from DNR Sports here, bringing you another team review. Today we got the San Francisco 49ers, which are my dark horse this year for the Super Bowl. I think I just said dark horse, but yeah, dark horse for the Super Bowl. They went from a Super Bowl favorite to losing the Super Bowl to becoming fourth in the division last year. So quite the turnaround, but as I'm sure all of you guys know at this point, Jimmy G was hurt, Nick Bosa was hurt, Richard Sherman, George Kittle, Raheem Mostert, Deebo Samuel, even Nayook for a little bit. They were basically all hurt. So what does it look like this year with people coming back, with people not tearing their ACLs or injuring themselves for the whole year? This is actually one of the most solid built rosters and most talented teams in the NFL, as well as being the most, in my opinion, the best coached team. This team is able to run the ball like nobody else, and that includes the Ravens. This team is the best running team in the league, in my opinion. The way they're able to utilize the likes of Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson, who unfortunately will not be with us for most of the season due to, I believe it was some type of MCL injury. But yeah, let's get right into this overview. All right, so starting off, San Francisco had the third overall draft pick this year in the NFL draft, and of course took Trey Lance. We all know this by now. Let's take a little in-depth look at Trey Lance. So, we see his college career. Probably the shortest I've ever seen from a quarterback, especially getting picked third overall. He went to North Dakota State, nothing special. He's currently 21, so he is very young, which is nice for a quarterback. Nice in the fact that you can mold him into something, not nice in the fact that he's probably not the best leader yet. But with Kyle Shanahan at the helm, you don't need to be the best leader. Now, let's look at it. So, obviously, 2018 did nothing, had one pass attempt, nothing. 2019 is literally the only year we can look at. So, he had 287 pass attempts, 2,786 yards. That's 9.7 yards per attempt. Completion percentage of about 67. Passing touchdowns, 28 with 0 interceptions. That's the main stat we want to look at. As well as rushing yards, 1,100 with 14 touchdowns. That's actually insane for 16 games. But the main thing we want to see here is his yards per attempt are actually very good. It's as you can see right here, 9.7 is in the 90th percentile. That's great. The problem is he throws for about 170 something yards per game. That's not good. And he throws under 2 touchdowns per game, about 1.6 or 7 or so. Not gonna cut it at the NFL level. That is some rookie Baker Mayfield numbers. Not even rookie year. This is probably the sophomore year. It's like Sam Darnold numbers. Those are not good, to be honest. So what are the positives we can take from him? He is pretty close to like a Jalen Hurd running wise. He's not quite a Lamar Jackson. Obviously, nobody's Lamar Jackson. But 1,100 yards and 14 touchdowns, that is not something to just scoff at. It seems like he's extremely accurate as well, throwing 0 picks with 28 touchdowns. Nobody really does that besides like Aaron Rodgers. And I mean, granted, this is North Dakota State. They don't have exactly the best competition ever. But that's nice to see. Pretty much what San Francisco needs, guys, as you can all look back to the Manny Sanders drop in the Super Bowl. They need a quarterback who can just get the ball out of their hands into the receiver's hands, into George Kittle's hands, and let them do the rest. Deebo and George Kittle, probably two of the best people at their position for yards after catch. Raheem Mostert, we know, is the best at his position for yards after catch. That man will take anything to the house. You just need a quarterback who's not going to underthrow people like Jimmy G did. I'm sorry, Jimmy G, I used to love you, but man, you really threw that Super Bowl away. They just need a quarterback that when he's asked to do something, can get it done, and then let the running backs handle the rest, right? This is not a team that's going to be throwing 400 yards a game. This is a team that exactly what he has in college, this yards per attempt, 9.7, combined with this rushing upside, fits perfectly into what could be a great RPO, run-pass option scheme that Kyle Shanahan will install. Him and Raheem Mostert going separate ways. Oh my goodness, it's going to be amazing. They do have Trey Sherman now. Let's go back to our depth chart over here. Jeff Wilson has MCL issue. He's done until maybe November, December. Trey Sherman coming in, a rookie. Let's bring up his stuff. Rookie at Ohio State, 6 foot 215. Decent size, a lot bigger than Raheem Mostert. College yards per carry. Wow, 7.5. That's freaking amazing. As you see, 94th percentile. But then we look at college dominator, 16.5%. If you look at this, it says give you a little indicator here. It says if you have over 40%, you're considered an excellent running back in college. To put it into perspective, Najee Harris had about 30%. So, the number one draft pick in the draft class versus, Trey Sermon. I mean, there's a reason he didn't go first. It's college dominator, meaning, how much this is the percentage of a running back's total team yards and touchdowns in college. So pretty much he wasn't that important to his team. His college target share, 8.4%. That's in his senior year. 68th percentile. That's okay. But when we look at it, this receptions, you just see that the team didn't throw the ball at all. My goodness, this reception number is horrid. This is horrid. 16 in his freshman year, sophomore year 12, junior year 8, and then 12 in his senior year. He's not a stud. I'm hearing a lot of talk about Trey Sermon. He's not a stud. You can see by his metrics. His pro day was a 4.61. His 40 time at the combine was a 4.66. That's slow. I'm not gonna lie. That's a little slow for running back. This is like some James Robinson type burst score. Who's his comp? Damian Harris. Yeah, exactly. Not exactly speedster like a Saquon or anything, but he's solid. He's not going to take over Raheem Mostert for pass catching downs, and he's certainly not going to take over Raheem Mostert for those outside zone runs that you want, those huge 15 to 20 chunk yardage plays. Where Raheem, if we go look at Raheem over here, my man's got a 4.42. Granted, he's 29, but we saw last year he had both of the top two fastest mile per hour times last year. He had those two breakaways, one against the Jets, and I forgot the other one. But my man's still fast. He's 5'11", 186. So the way I'm looking at this backfield situation is Trey Sermon will be not even full goal line back, will be partial goal line back with, I don't know why they have him as fourth string, Wayne Gallman. I think Wayne Gallman proved last year at the Giants that he's actually pretty decent on the goal line. He was a good hard-hitting running back last year, and I think that's exactly what San Fran wants. You saw the way that they were able to use Jeff Wilson Jr. last year. My man had 3 touchdowns in a game. If you put Jeff Wilson on any other team, he's not getting 3 touchdowns a game. That's just not happening. 100 yards and 3 touchdowns? No. This is the best run offensive line to be behind. Run scheme, not offensive line per se, but scheme with Kyle Shanahan. So Wayne Gallman's going to get the goal line work. Trey Sermon's going to get kind of the goal line work, kind of maybe some first down work. Raheem Mostert's going to get most of the work, mainly the third down work, unless he has to be pass blocking. I think he'll be in for most of it because he's the best pass catcher on this team by far. All 3 of these other dudes can't catch a pass to save their lives. Plus, he can always take one to the house. All the other guys are slow. But when it comes to blocking time on third downs, which, granted, the 49ers are a block-first team, they're gonna want Gallman and Sermon in first. So it's going to be like a passing downs, Raheem Mostert, blocking downs and first downs and goal lines, Gallman and Sermon. So this receiver core is extremely underrated. I am such a big fan of Deebo Samuel. He's basically like their 5th running back. They love their end arounds. They use him basically like Robert Woods is used down at LA, the Rams over there. Very similar player, very quick. Brandon Nayook is the main receiver they have. Rookie last year, had a pretty decent season. Let's take a look at his stats. Let's go. So he missed, how many games did he play? Let's full in-depth dive here. So he played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 games. 12 games, 60 receptions, 48th overall. That's not terrible. 748 yards, 47th overall. Not terrible. 5 touchdowns, 44th. 12 and a half on average depth of target. That's not bad. That's not bad. Okay. He did miss 4 games. So if you infer those stats, 4 games is a quarter of the season, right? So we can infer that he would get about 8-ish touchdowns, about 1,000 yards, about 75, 80, probably 80-ish receptions. That's a solid rookie season. That's like some CD Lamb type numbers, actually. I like that a lot. We saw when he was targeted a lot in this game, 16 targets. He was able to break a good amount of yards. He broke 100 only twice. Nothing special. But coming into year 2, receivers take that big leap in year 2. We know that, seeing Calvin Ridley's and DK's and AJ Brown's and all them. Terry McLaurin was good in his freshman year. I was going to say him, but he was already good. So, yeah, looking good at the receiver position. So there are receivers we can look at. Richie James Jr. Had a decent last year. When everyone else went down, he came to fruition, and I happened to play him on that Monday night game on DraftKings. I had him a freaking captain that Devontae Adams week. It was Green Bay for San Fran. Everyone was out with COVID from both sides, and I almost took down first prize. But I think it was it Wilson or one of the running backs completely cucked me at the end. But let's get beyond that. I don't hate you, Richie James. You're a beast. We got Jalen Hurd coming back. He missed 2 years. First year was a back injury. Second year was with an ACL injury. This man's like 6'5" when I was looking at it. He's a big boy. Let's take a look real quick. Jalen Hurd, 6'5", 230 out of Baylor. Drafted 2 years ago. Just missed both seasons. On some Kevin White type type resume currently. Injured straight out of college, but that's a big body. All these receivers that I've mentioned so far, not big bodies. So having him help, the tight ends like Kittle and Dwelly do things in the red zone is going to be nice. So yeah, they got Mohamed Sanu, whatever. Trent Sherfield, whatever. That's about as far as the receiver position goes. So next up we got George Kittle, obviously the best tight end overall in the game. I know Kelsey's the best receiving tight end. Maybe. I'm not even sure about that. It's a little unfair. If you put Kittle on the Chiefs, he might be putting up like 2K a year. This man is the most athletic tight end in their NFL currently, and he's the best blocking tight end, along with Gronk. Gronk's always going to be the best blocking tight end. So we have to. The one thing about Kittle this year is a lot of people are scared. They're picking Waller over him in a lot of redraft leagues. I can't do that, man. I just can't see him getting any less love than he's already gotten. Do you guys understand? Let's look at this real quick. So let's take a look at George Kittle versus Travis Kelsey. I just want to show you guys the opportunity share here. George Kittle. Look at that freaking metrics, man. Holy crap. Spark score 90th percentile. 90 and above for everything right there on the workout metrics. Wow. How did this man go in the 5th round? I don't know. 6'4" is a beast. I don't need to go through metrics. Who cares? You guys already know that. But the main thing I want to look at is this is his 2019 season. Look at this. Here's his targets per game. He had one game over 10 targets, a 17 target game. The other was 10 and a bunch of 8s and whatnot. This one game where he had a bunch of targets, 13 receptions, 134 yards, 103 yards, 129 yards. He's a beast when he gets the work. Let's look at last year, even though he's injured sometimes. Granted, let's all remember, these last 2 seasons have been injury-ridden. Jimmy G has not stayed healthy at all. It's been Beathard, and it's been Nick Mullins throwing to him. Ugh. So, anyways, this season, once he gets 15 targets, 15 receptions, 183 and 1. That is insanity. My man's a freak of nature. See, the difference I want to point out between him and Kelsey is these routes. He had one game of over 31 routes. One game. Let's go look at Kelsey. Here's Kelsey. Metrics, a little less athletic, but routes. 47, 39, 44, 35, 35, 42, 47, 33, 35, 45, 37. This is last year. Targets. He, on average, probably averages about 3 or 4 more targets than Kittle a game. I think, so to summarize the whole story here, I believe that if Kittle is able to get more targets, which I think he will, I think he'll get between 10 and 12 on average per week. Maybe that's a little egregious. Maybe 9 to 11, somewhere in there. He's going to be putting up those Travis Kelsey numbers, if not more. Trey Lance is going to fall in love with him straight away. We already know this. The only issue is if Jimmy G is going to take away some of Trey Lance's time. Jimmy G, you're done. Let's let Trey Lance, the yards per attempt leader in college, to give us some attempts towards George Kittle. Ross Dwelly, the second tight end, he filled in actually very well for Kittle. This is one of the best tight end using schemes as well as running back using schemes. But anyways, moving on. Kyle Juszczyk, best fullback in the league, the guy who makes fullback position irrelevant anymore. And then their O-line, Trent Williams, obviously a beast. Alex Mack, very good. Lakin Tomlinson, I'm not going to lie. I don't know much about him at all. Daniel Brunskill and Mike McGlinchey. Mike McGlinchey's a beast. Daniel Brunskill. So it looks like at the guard, they're a little weaker. On the outsides, they're very strong. In the center, they're very strong as well. Now let's move on to the defense. Listen to this list. Eric Armstead, Javon Kinlaw, Nick Bosa, Dre Greenlaw, Fred Warner, Jaquiski Tart, Jimmy Ward, and Jason Verrett. Wow, that is stacked, boys. That is stacked. And we know that, they got, what's his man? Emmanuel Mosley. Not a great corner. I was doing some digging into him. This is what we got. He's kind of athletic, but 49% snap share last year. He's not even a starter. I believe that they are going to be taking, since they didn't take anybody in the draft, no corners that were of relevance, they will be taking back Richard Sherman. I think they'll sign him back to like some 1 year, like $4 million deal. That's what a bunch of like ESPN articles have been saying too. They need to sign him. But him and Jason Verrett, he's like, him and Keenan Allen are so like, they get injured like 4 years in a row, and then they fucking ball out. We've always known that Jason Verrett has talent, right? We've always known that. It's just, can he get on the field? Last year he was on the field. Last year he was good. So with Richard Sherman dominating his side of the field, let Jason Verrett take the other receiver. This is good corners. Jaquiski Tart, sorry, is the best tight end coverage safety in the league. He's been that for years. And then Jimmy Ward, just an all-around good safety. This team, with Nick Bosa coming back off that ACL, my goodness, man, I fully believe they're better than the Rams, the Seahawks, and the Cardinals. Why can't I forget the Cardinals? I don't know why. But they're better than all those teams. They're better coached. The only issue I have to bring up with this defense is they did lose Robert Saleh. So Saleh's going to be coming into the Jets, helping them out. That's going to leave, not such a great look on the defensive side of it. So basically, guys, they're going from Robert Saleh, the best defensive coordinator in the league, to DeMeco Ryans. It's his first year. Can't expect too much. But I think, in my opinion, this defense, with the likes of Sherman and Verrett and Tart and Ward, mainly from the back end, and Armstead, honestly, and Kinlaw, are going to lead with their veteran, presence. I think Nick Bosa is also basically a veteran, even though it's his third year. Like, he's a tough man. Fred Warner, come on, best linebacker in the league. This defense is going to be able to coach themselves a lot of the time. As for the offense, once again, we already know they're the best coach team in the league. So, I mean, I know you guys are going to say, Bill Belichick, obviously, he's the GOAT. Obviously, Andy Reid, what he does in Kansas City, second to none. But just the ability to use these not so talented players on offense, and mainly I'm speaking about the running backs, and turn them into like fucking Adrian Peterson. That's impressive, not gonna lie. All right, boys, that's gonna wrap up our video on the San Francisco 49ers. To conclude, they are, I'm a Packers fan, but I gotta say they're my favorite NFC team to watch, other than the Packers. They are just so well coached, so good at running the ball. Just such an automatic team. They're the Patriots of the NFC from 5 years ago. They're just automatic in the way that they tear teams apart. They're like they're basically the Chiefs with a better defense and a slightly less explosive offense. I think their offense is more methodical, but slightly less explosive. But hey, with Trey Lance, with somebody who apparently doesn't throw picks, we might be seeing some craziness up in here. So, if you guys liked the video, leave a like. Let me know in the comments what team you guys want to see next. Okay, I want some good overview on what teams you want to see, what topics you want to see. Maybe it's not teams, maybe it's specific players, some top 25 overall rankings for fantasy or something like that, or more tier lists, or whatever you guys want to see. Let me know in the comments. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. Turn on those post noties. Let me know you got those post noties on. Notifications show up every video. All right. We just passed. I think we're approaching like 35 subs. I love you guys. This is amazing. These last two videos have been popping off for the team, so I'm not gonna stop. These team videos are coming out. Hopefully your favorite team's next. But yeah, you guys are showing great support. Keep the comments up. I love seeing the comments, man. I've got some great ones already. Some great feedback. But yeah, if you guys liked it, join me back on the next one. I'll see you guys later. Peace.
I can never ever find the right words, and there's no way this is real life. There's no telling you're the right girl, so I can only say that it feels right.